Go ahead and share it, boys.
Oh, thanks.
What are we sharing?
He doesn't use social media, homie. We just go on and share the episode for people like on our friends and stuff can watch. Justin's like, I don't have friends or use social media.
Yeah, it's overrated.
What, friends?
For sure.
Damn, bro.
I'm going Dort's 20 yards.
Damn, bro. Jeez. Mass shout out. I wish you could
Gordon.
join us, man. What's up, China, man? I love seeing that our other followers from our other podcast hop in here. It's cool.
Right.
Did you not share it? Did you share it to Cheesy Ponies Facebook? We haven't done that, have we?
We can't do that yet. We have to be
Can
active.
you share it to our page?
We have to be active for like a month.
I know. Can you share the YouTube to our page?
I don't. How do you do that?
It's not hard. Cheesy Ponies Podcast Live. Don't be a bitch. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Matt Shadow. How was the boat? Matt Shadow.
That's because I'm on my
Okay.
Facebook. I'll be off of it here in just a second. Or I was on YouTube trying to find the link. There we go. I'm just gonna share it to mine, then we can do that.
All right, I decided on Greg Dortch instead of McBride. 20 yards.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Might as well get started. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
We got a couple people in here.
Welcome to Cheesy Ponies NFL and Fantasy Football Podcast, where we talk about the latest news. And sometimes we get off a little trail, but it irritates Justin. But we do it because we love him. And I like to get yelled at by Justin. But anyways, as always, we love to talk about football, cheerleaders, and everything else, or whatever. So, and Dougie Fresh didn't die in the Bahamas from a hurricane. We just got wind of that, so that's nice. So everybody sit back, relax, grab a beer, grab a drink, grab a whiskey, grab a soda, grab whatever it is that you sip on, and let's get started. All right, guys, we're back in the studios once again. It's been a week, but we're back here. It sucks because we only have time to do it once a week, and I always have a great time with you guys. But as always, I'm Big Sturge, Justice League, and we got Justin in the back over there laying down some bets. So, yeah, we're back in here. We're going to talk about what we're sipping on. Josh has already hit us to the punch here. It looks like he said he's sipping on Sturge's Ohio Blue.
Woo! Is that a drink?
Yes, some stuff.
Is that your drink?
Moonshine that I made.
Okay.
And then I'm sipping on, I just took a shot of Buffalo Trace, and now I mixed up a couple shots of it into a little Coke, because I know a lot of people talk crap because, I'm a whiskey connoisseur, but I mix it with Coke. But
drink it however the hell you like it.
I need the caffeine. It is better without it, but I just need the caffeine. So what are you guys sipping on?
Boosh latte.
I never grabbed anything. I'm gonna have to make it.
No, I was hoping you brought the Michelobes like you said you was doing. Did you do that?
They're in the fridge.
There you go, Justin. Get you a Michelob. Downstairs?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Grab me one while you're at it, bro.
Yes, sir.
You need one?
Will you grab me Boosh?
Yeah.
Psh, psh.
Boosh.
Get him a psh light. All right, so Mass Shadow's drinking a 5-hour energy.
Why would he need that?
Who knows?
You think he drank too much on the boat?
I don't know anybody other than Doug that was on a boat. Thanks, buddy. Oh, yeah. Like, don't you start that shit, bro. Did these sit in your car overnight?
Just on the way here.
I'm just saying they seem a little warm to be. I'm calling bullshit. He left. Be honest. Did you leave them in your car?
No.
Be honest. I bet you did.
They were not in my car.
You left them in your car like you leave everything else in your car. Don't lie to me.
First
boy.
off, it's clean.
It's not clean. It's picked up a little
What's
bit more.
up, Mike?
Who's Mike?
A guy I used to work with.
Sorry, I'm chugging. I just shot ice.
I'm in a boat and I'm going fast and
Shot ice on my throat. I think I'm all right. Woo. All right, guys. So we're gonna do what we do always. I'm gonna start it off this week, but we got a couple topics we want to talk about. Some of them involve Fields and Wilson there in Pittsburgh. We've got Justin's favorite topic tonight. God saves the Browns. And I did see that they chanted, "You deserve it." I don't know if that's true.
It is. It's fucked up.
And then there's a topic, Flacco, time. I named that a Flacco time, riding with Flacco, Flacco experience, or the Flacco factor. Plus, we'll talk a bit about, of course, fantasy football. But what I want to start out with is my favorite topic of the night. And I want to address it before I get into it because a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you're an idiot," which I was called today multiple times. But we're going to do the Fields versus Wilson. In my mindset, that's what I thought this has always been about. It's always been about Fields versus Wilson. It seems that obviously media, Justin, Justice League, you both know they love drama, right? I mean, the media wouldn't be a thing. Justin, are you paying attention to me?
I'm listening.
All right.
The media loves drama. We're talking Wilson
All right.
versus Fields. Let's go.
Okay. All right. But they love drama in all aspects. They went, on to create this idea that there was a lot of tension in Pittsburgh, it seemed like, right? There was specifically in the quarterback room. But learning just the professionalism of both of these two quarterbacks, you're learning now that there's not. And I would like to quote Russell Wilson here. And we should get, if we could get ESPN and all these people to hear this and just really hit on this the most. But, I'm going to quote him here. I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. "We are in a tremendous situation where we are. I think there's a lot of outside noise that makes it seem like it's a negative thing and that there's a rivalry internally. It's not. Again, those are Russ's words. I didn't make those words up. And to continue what he was saying, he says, we just want to win. That's what we're focused on. I mean, I got to give it to Justin Fields. Got to give him credit, man. Justin and the things that he has done and has been able to do, how great he's been playing. He inspires me every day, how he wakes up, vice versa. We have a great relationship. He is a tremendous quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. That's a big statement. He's a franchise quarterback. He's a leader. He's got all the intelligibles and whatever I can give him and show him and just want to be around him. That's part of my job, which a lot of quarterbacks forget that.
Right.
When you're sitting behind somebody, your job is not just backup quarterback. Your other job is a fucking teammate. And I loved how I applaud Russell Wilson. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to bring up stats that are facts. Does not take away with what a career Russell Wilson has had, what an unfair shot he had in Denver, but what he was willing to do yesterday after not being on the field for so long. Applaud to Russell Wilson. He did a great job. And Mike Tomlin, once again, looks like a fucking genius. Right? I mean, he did. Look like, Phil, I thought you would agree. Like, yeah, I feel.
I mean, I don't 100% agree with that statement. And
well, no, I'm not done.
Okay.
But I'm not done yet. I got this because I'm not saying that I agree with it. But what I am saying is Mike Tomlin made a good decision yesterday.
On which quarterback to start?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course he did. Who won? Who annihilated the Jets? Yep. Whose defensive front made the fucking offense looking like an absolute morons? And again, you saw that pass bounce off of Wilson. Was it Wilson's chest?
Yeah.
Kudos to the defender for being there and and making that athletic play up in the air like that. But with all this being said, it's just like it's like this Pittsburgh curse. They just always find a way to win. But they have a winning team. They have a winning quarterback room. They have two quarterbacks who are high on each other. Now, with all that being said, I do not think that Russell Wilson should have started yesterday. And I'm going to bring up the stats of him this year. A lot of people say he didn't do enough. Justin Fields, first game of the season against the Raiders. Passes 145, runs for 59 yards, 2 touchdowns, 204 yards total. No mistakes were made. Versus the Cowboys. 131 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, ran for 27. What is that, Justin? Is that 100? Is that a 158?
I wasn't doing the math live while you were
I think it's 158, I think, but I'm also not very intelligent. So 131 plus 27, I believe, is versus the Colts. You ready for this, Justice?
Yeah.
Because I know you like, you good over there, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. 312 yards in the air. 1 touchdown. 55 yards on the ground. 2 touchdowns. That's a grand total of 367 total yards. No mistakes. Chargers, 245 in the air. 1 touchdown. 6 yards on the ground. Not that many, but he also scored a touchdown there. 251 total yards. Broncos, 117 yards in the air. Not a lot, but he scored a touchdown, no interceptions, I believe, that game. He ran for only 27 yards, gave him a grand total of 144 total yards. Not a great game, but no mistakes were made. Against the Falcons, 156 yards passing, 57 yards on the ground, which is a grand total of 213 total yards. He has 231 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. He has 5 touchdowns in the air, 1 interception. Russell Wilson, let's go back to last year. His total, he had 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, a record of 7-8. Again, I'm not mad at 26 touchdowns and 8 picks, right? No one's going to be mad at a quarterback for that. At least I wouldn't think so. You go back and people are going to say, well, he puts up 300-yard games, higher in 200-yard games, but Fields also does that when you combine the numbers. So I just thought it's really hard to hear somebody got benched after they're having a good season.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a benching either. I think that Tomlin knows he has a winning roster and he wants to see what Russell has. He wants to know which quarterback is going to be the quarterback that can take them all the way. And he knows Fields can do it one way, and he wants to see if Russell can do it. I mean, I think what we saw last night is Russell will make that team move through the air. I mean, Fields did all right through the air, but I mean, Fields is better with his legs and does stuff with his legs that Russell can't do. But I mean, a lot of those touch passes to George Pickens last night, they even said on the broadcast, Fields doesn't make those touch passes. He throws darts. So on the jump balls where you want to throw a touch pass to give George Pickens a chance to win that 50-50 ball, Fields doesn't do that. And that's one of the reasons that George Pickens has struggled at times this year.
I think he doesn't do it just because he doesn't want to make that mistake. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you. Russell Wilson definitely makes those throws for sure.
So I'm in the middle of this. Last night was a bad spot to test the quarterback situation because, like I've said, there was 5 secondary guys out for the Jets, and then there was multiple injuries during the game through the defensive line, the offensive line, and then more in the secondary where even the commentators said, oh, look, a backup to the backup just got hurt.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the quarterback situation.
We're talking about Justin Fields and
right. He's
Russell
talking
Wilson
about the quarterback throwing on the Jets' injuries.
So you can't really depict if Russell Wilson's a better option there because Justin Fields could have very well threw for 300 yards against backups to backups on the secondary.
And he's only done it once this year, unfortunately.
But what I'm saying is you don't know because of how many injuries there was. I don't think that Russell Wilson goes out and throws for 300 yards against the Giants. And that's a terrible team. It was just so many injuries last night that you can't take one game and say, "Oh, he should be our starter."
I agree. I completely agree. I think I always say, "Where's loyalty? Where's the loyalty?" Got a guy that took you 4-2, and honestly, I don't know what else passing wise what you want from a guy like. Yeah, I think Justin's right. He doesn't throw those big bombs up in the air to get George Pickens to either catch it or make a mistake, or the back makes a play on it because he doesn't want to make that mistake. So he may tuck it in and run. So that's where I think you get those differences between the two players. I think Fields is a playmaker. Sorry, I'm eating. I haven't ate. My wife just brought me down double days, or not double days, but hard boiled.
But
Fucking good.
There was multiple times where, like you're saying, Russ could have taken off and got 10, 15 yards on the ground where Fields would have taken off and got first downs and made a drive keep going.
Mass Shadow. I'll take him in Cleveland. I'm sure you would. Take about anybody right now.
I go Jameis Winston.
Hey, we're going to talk about that too, Marlon. That's a good topic. But my final take on that, what's going on there, in Pittsburgh, they've got two really good quarterbacks that can play. That's what I think. I mean, Justin said in the beginning of the year he wasn't sold on Fields at all. But you put him in a good system and look what he does. He wins 4 games. You got a chance with him, because where he was in Chicago just wasn't a good situation for him. It wasn't good. But you like to hear what's going on in Cleveland. I don't think there's an issue in Cleveland, and you already heard Russ is not there to stay.
Russ is at the end of his career.
Right. He's not there to stay. Why be upset at letting Justin Fields sit behind somebody the rest of the year unless he makes a really big mistake, and let him learn even more? He never got that chance. He never got that chance. He never got the chance to sit behind a real true veteran. To be honest, I've never heard anything bad about Russell Wilson in the locker room. Ever.
He's a little cheesy and cringe at times.
Well, so
what do you mean by that?
He just makes, I think he makes a lot of, I don't know. He's just, the way he talks, he's just kind of cheesy. I mean, just listen to him talk sometimes.
I listened to him today on the takes of what he had on field starting in the game. I thought he sounded great.
I think there's a lot of stuff he says sometimes that it's just like stuff you want to hear, and it almost sounds so sincere that sounds fake, even though it may not be. I don't know. It's who,
Mike,
it's
you
who
don't
Russell
even watch
Wilson
football.
It's who Russell Wilson is. He's just cheesy. It's okay.
Yeah, but he might be. I don't know that to be the case, but I mean, look at him. It wouldn't surprise me. He looks
Broncos,
cheesy.
But the last thing I'll say about the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh, last night, Tomlin made the right decision based on the secondary. You're not going to go into very many games and throw moonshots the way Wilson did and get away with it.
No.
Last night, it was just so many backups in the game. He knew his receivers were better, and it worked out for him.
I don't think he was hating in Seattle. I think there towards the end, maybe.
He was not hated in Seattle.
I didn't say. I didn't
he was
think so
absolutely
either.
loved.
That's what I thought. But no, I get what you're saying. He at the end of the day, you cannot say Mike Tomlin made the wrong decision.
No,
you just can't. You can't say it.
You can never say that someone made a wrong decision.
But he comes out next week and throws 3 picks and no touchdowns.
And that's what I'm saying. The Giants are bad. Yeah. And I do not think he has anywhere close to the game he had this week against that defense, because their defense isn't torn up like the Jets were.
Tomlin sucks, Fred. Tomlin's arguably the best coach that's been in football. He's
never had a losing season. What do you mean he sucks?
This is Fred. He's just trying to run his mouth.
But
no, so
you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Though? He can't throw moonshots up against a Giants defense and get the same.
I agree.
It's not going to happen.
But I also hear what Justin's saying. He adapted very well. He knew what he could do. He knew what he could get away with, and that's what makes you a quarterback. When you know your defense that you're playing. God, that damn light's on.
Yeah.
It just came on.
Yeah, it did.
But
no, I think we all agree that it was a scheme thing.
I told you guys come before Russell Wilson went to Pittsburgh that I wanted to see him with Arthur Smith because I knew Arthur Smith got fired. I was like, I want to see Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith's offense. I mean, because it's a lot of that run play action, which is where Russell succeeds. And to me, that was part of the reason he didn't play as well in Denver because that wasn't what Sean Payton wanted to run.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton really didn't care that Russell Wilson was his quarterback. He's like, you're going to do what I want you to do, whether it works or not. And then when we would be losing in the fourth quarter, he'd be like, F it. Go ahead, Russell. Do what you do. And sometimes we came back and won, and sometimes we came close and didn't win. So,
but
I mean,
okay, Fred, listen, buddy. I'm going to school you just real quick, and we'll continue to move on. 11 playoff appearances, 7 divisional titles, 3 championship games, 2 Super Bowls, and a Super Bowl win. Sorry, bud. He's one of the best ever.
He's one of the winningest coaches.
Hey, I'm glad you had to say that word, not me. I'd still be around.
Wait, who does Fred like again?
Is he a Bengal fan? Hold on.
Anthony's got to turn the light off.
Guys, shut the light off.
So much for taking off.
Listen.
What's up, Mike?
The studio's in the basement. So there's something wrong with the ground, all right?
Mike said Fields is garbage. Russ is the way to go.
He doesn't even watch football.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's saying that, I promise you, I've known Mike a long, long time. He hates Ohio State for some reason. Hates them. Has no reason to lie. He's a Texans fan.
Oh, makes sense.
Or not a Texans fan, but a Longhorns fan.
Texas lost this week.
Yeah, and he's also a Browns fan.
How did Texas do this week, Mike?
I actually thought Texas was going to win, but who was it? Who they play? Georgia. Oh, Georgia. That's right. Georgia tore them up.
Hey, Mike.
They did, bro.
Georgia bent them over.
Yeah. I'll make a bet with you right now that Vanderbilt beats Texas this week.
Who?
He can't make a bet. He doesn't have a lot of money.
Vanderbilt is.
And if he does make the bet, I'm going to message Emily and said he just made a bet.
You said they won't?
No.
That's what people said when I said they would beat Alabama too.
All right, can we change? Let's change this.
Alabama's lost multiple times.
I want to talk about Justin's topic. I think it's by the way, this last topic was brought to you by Justice League here. And it was my favorite one of the night. But I also really like Justin's here. Justin, you said in response to what should we talk about tonight? And you said God saves the Browns. So I'd like you to elaborate.
Was that too insensitive?
No.
It is.
So
you got mad at me for an injury thing, and then you made an injury thing.
You did what?
I guess.
Yeah, you shut us down for like 20 minutes, told us you hated us, and never talked to us again.
I wish ACL tears on everybody.
But you knew that was never going to happen.
But you're saying God saved them with an injury.
Yeah.
To be fair, okay, I'll take it. That's fine. That's fine.
But let's talk about that and tell us what you mean by God saves the Browns. What do you see there in Cleveland?
I mean, I've not been a fan of Deshaun Watson. It's been clear. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it in past episodes. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, Stefanski would not sit Deshaun. He's like, Deshaun's our guy. We're rolling with Deshaun. I don't know if he was waiting for Chubb to come back, thinking that Chubb would make Deshaun look better somehow. Mm-hmm. And I think Deshaun has been holding them back. And I think now that Deshaun isn't able to play, I mean,
do you like Massage Watson?
I hope he recovers, and I don't know where he'll play football in the future if he plays again. I just feel bad. I felt bad for Browns fans because they were stuck with Deshaun.
Yeah.
Well, how many years did they sign him?
But
5 or 6 years.
He's going to play in Cleveland. They have too much money wrapped up in him.
No.
Like,
if Winston comes in here and do what I think he can, but let's bounce off of what Justin just said. Throw in some stats. I know Justice League likes stats. I like stats.
Deshaun stats?
Yeah.
Deshaun, 27, before he got hurt, was a dog.
No, he wasn't.
What
are you ready? I'm going to give you stats. You said you want stats. You can go like this. And
we did it last week with Deshaun.
No, we didn't give any stats last week, really. Do you want me to give them? I can give them to you. Unless you just want to. I mean, you can look it up right now, and we can just follow along together if you'd like.
We did this last week, too.
2017, his rookie season. He went 3 for 3, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. 2018, he took him 11-5, which is pretty good. 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's pretty good. That's a decent year for sure.
I mean, even his rookie season wasn't bad.
Can I keep rolling with it? All right, cool. So the next 2019, he takes him 10-5. You're going to start seeing something here. This isn't even, we're not even to his best season yet. 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. 2020, he took them 4-12. 4-12. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I was following a Reddit. Is it Reddit? You know, have you guys ever read on that?
I end up there sometimes.
Okay, so I was on a Reddit post and there was a, what do you call the guys that like they're not on any, they're like
moderators?
No, they like follow the games and kind of give their opinions. Like they're
analyst?
An analyst, thank you. There was an analyst that was talking about that. It was his best year, but they went 4-12. He threw 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But what I saw from what this guy was saying, and I looked up, followed his Twitter. He's actually kind of cool. And I wish I would have wrote the name down. But he was saying a lot of those touchdowns were during what he calls garbage time.
Oh, in the games?
Yeah, like, you know, you're getting stomped 42-11 and you're just throwing fucking haymakers out there and your receivers are making plays. But after that, we all know that he got a couple massages. Dylan, you went to the same masseuse place, did you not?
Yeah.
A couple, yeah. So, and got the same happy ending? Yeah, so got the quads done, all that kind of thing. So he misses 2 years. Since he's been back, 2022, he went 3-3, got injured, threw 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 23, he went 5-1, takes him 5-1. So I was reading a Cleveland analyst. They assume if he stays healthy that whole year, they probably make the playoffs. It's not necessarily because he threw only 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but their defense was the best in the NFL, and they had 2 running backs that were carrying the football team.
Yep.
And then this year, he took them 1-6, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Nowhere on this paper do I see him that he was a dog.
Dude, looking at his games this year, I mean,
was he good? Yeah, he was good.
He didn't throw for more than 200 yards once.
Yep.
Like in some of the teams he faced, the Jags, who are laughably terrible, he threw for 186 yards and 0 passing touchdowns against the Jags. Like, that's embarrassing. The Raiders, 176 passing yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He had 125 passing yards against against Washington, who is one of the worst passing defenses. Like, I
love watching Washington now.
The Eagles have even been bad, and he threw 168 passing yards against them. So it's like he's had chances against defenses that are bottom league this year.
Yeah, and
he just didn't do anything against them.
Now, Dylan, I'm curious to hear. So you're saying he's this big dog in Houston, but let's hear that. Let's hear your.
So his best year in 2020, where they were saying that they had 2 running backs that opened up the pass game. I dispute that because rushing yards a game, 118, 51, 29, 96.
Wait, time out. You're looking up who's rushing yards?
Houston's. His best.
We're talking about Cleveland. We were talking about the year in 23 when he went 5-1. I wasn't talking about his time in Texas.
I agree with you 100%.
I never said that the rush game gave him anything in Texas.
No, his time off killed him.
Okay, what happened in 2020 when he took him 4-12?
He was the lone man. Their rushing offense was nothing. 118, 51, 29, 96, 129, 92, 79.
What did you say?
Was that Lamar Miller year?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They had 1, 2, 3.
Bro, I don't know what.
5
my
games.
question is, though, what are you trying to argue? Because you've always said Watson's fucking scrub.
Yes.
What is your point now?
I said with Houston, he was a dog.
I don't think that he was.
And then he took he had to sit a few years. And I don't know if he lost the love for the game, the drive, whatever. But with Cleveland, he has been shit.
I mean, he had the same team in 2020 that he practically did in 2019. He took them 10-5 2019. So the scrub team that you're calling scrubs went 10-5 the year before.
You know what can make or break a quarterback?
Massages?
A coach in their offensive scheme.
100%.
But
you can make a quarterback that's not great look amazing, and you can make a quarterback that's really good look really bad.
Yeah, you can.
But in 2020,
Brock Osweiler won a Super Bowl.
In 2020, he threw for almost 5,000 yards. But
the Texans?
Yeah, they only ran for 100 yards.
What year was that?
6 games, 2020.
That was the year that I said that he threw a lot of bombs up there because they were getting crushed by teams.
But a lot of those games, they only lost by 1 touchdown.
I think you saw it with Russ Wilson last year. Justin, I'm sorry for bringing this up, but I'm going to bring it up. Russell Wilson, if you look at his numbers, they weren't that bad last year. But look where he got his and when he got his numbers. A lot of those numbers those 380-yard passing games came in the fourth quarter when he's just chucking shit up.
But no, in 2020, I remember Deshaun because I know I had him in fantasy. Their run game was so shit that he threw the ball 50 times a game almost.
He also had Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks making him look great.
Didn't he have, wasn't 2020 Hopkins too?
I think he did have Hopkins one year, yeah, but I guess
he had Hopkins multiple years.
I had heard that Bill O'Brien, when he was in Houston, was running the same offensive scheme that Clemson ran in college. So, like, he was doing Deshaun a favor and running a college scheme that made his progressions easier to read. And I think that's why he performed better in Houston. I think when he came to the Browns, they were like, "You're going to run what we tell you to run." That can make. That's why I was saying, like, if it doesn't fit or the quarterback can't do it, then they're not going to look great. And that could be why he looked better in Houston.
And when we're talking, and I agree with you there, Justin. But when you look back and you say the run game was terrible, well, in the first 12 games, Johnson ran for 700 yards, but he got injured.
Right.
So you can't. Well, hold on.
That has a lot to do with it. But you can't say he did terrible there when his rookie year he only played or he only started.
You said games. In 2020 that he was a dog because they had no rush game, but they did have a rush game.
They didn't run for 700 the first few games.
In 2020, Johnson played in 12 games and put up almost 700. Yeah, it's David Johnson was the running back
that's
there.
Right. David was there.
He ran for 700 yards in the first 12 games. And then he got injured. Yeah, I'm looking at it, bro. I'm looking at it right now.
Left the
I'm not making it up.
No, so am I.
I'm not going to make up
rushing
stats.
yards a game, 118, 51, 29, 96, 129.
Those are pretty decent numbers you're saying, though.
51 and 29?
That happens. Josh Jacobs ran for 17 one game. Is he bad?
It's the defenses.
You can still have a 1,200-yard year and run for 20 yards one game.
I get that, but other than his rookie season where he only started 6 games, he threw for almost 4,000 yards or higher every year.
I understand that, but that doesn't make you make a fucking deal. It doesn't make you a winner. That's my point.
That makes you a good quarterback.
But I don't understand where your position is, because prior to this conversation, you said what a fucking idiot he was, how bad he was, how dumb it was to sign him to that kind of contract.
It was after you sit for 2 years.
But he's a dog. Like
in Houston, he was.
He was not a dog in Houston, bro.
I think it's fair enough to say
a dog.
18, 19, 20. He made the NFL All-Star team.
The All-Star team, the Pro Bowl team,
Pro Bowl, whatever.
That means nothing. There was a backup quarterback last year that made the fucking Pro Bowl.
I think it's fair to say that whatever he did in Houston, he has not replicated in Cleveland
at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Point.
But I just don't think he was that great in Houston.
I mean, I don't know how he wasn't. He was offensive
his
rookie
numbers
of the
were
year,
better.
Pro Bowl.
They were better,
Pro Bowl.
But we really can't can put those numbers together in Cleveland because he hasn't stayed healthy in Cleveland. You haven't even seen him a whole year.
I mean,
I don't see any numbers where he was worth that contract.
6, 6, and 7 in Cleveland. He started 6 games his rookie year and threw for double the yards almost.
They should have kept Flacco this year.
Again,
Flacco and just played him all year.
I don't understand I don't know if you and I are on something here where we just want to fucking dog each other.
I think we do.
Well, that's fine with me because you said when they signed him in Cleveland how fucking dumb it was.
It was. You don't take a quarterback that's sat for 2 years and pay him that much money.
Flacco, hey, he sat for 2 years, came out and was a fucking dog.
But they didn't pay him $250 million guaranteed.
I wouldn't have either.
They paid him.
I think
you don't take a quarterback that sat that long and pay him that much guaranteed.
Here's the deal. It's clear as day. Watson is not the guy. It's clear as day. What's the other guy? Thompson, Robinson. What's his name?
Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Thank you. That's not the guy.
But I think he might have got hurt.
He broke his finger.
He might have broke his finger, but he's not the guy.
He's not there yet.
Clear as day. If Winston shows that he can still throw a football and manage a game and not throw 5 picks a game, he's the new guy in Cleveland.
Jameis Winston is the poor man's Brett Favre. He's either going to throw for 500 yards or he's going to throw 5 picks.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. At least he'll do fucking something.
He's going to make his receiver get a chance. He's going to throw the fucking ball.
And I'm not sold on Chubb being ready yet. I mean, outside
of the touchdown.
And did you see his ground efficiency?
I didn't think he'd be good when he played. I mean, he hasn't played in how many games?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to have a 150-yard game.
He had one. I mean, I said it when he was coming back. He had one of those injuries like Javonte where he may not be himself the first year. So, I mean, depending on what people are expecting, he may not be that beast mode brawler that everybody, the old Chubb.
He's gonna get it back this year.
I
but it's
think
gonna
we'll
take-
see him on a 150-yard game for the end of the year.
It's going to take 2 to 3 games for them to trust him carrying that workload.
I don't think he'll hit a 150-yard game all year.
I know what I'm going to get Dylan for Christmas. A Deshaun Watson jersey.
I won't touch it.
Oh, you love him, bro.
It has to be a Houston Texans.
mean-
That's fine. I'll
jersey.
get him a Houston Texan one.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to move on because we've been it's way too long, and you and I will go down each other's fucking throat.
We will.
All because earlier I was trying to
one
talk
last
and you tried to
thing.
interrupt me, and I said I'm still talking.
One last thing. They didn't rush for that many yards that year. Deshaun ran for 444 of them.
He
Yeah,
did
what's your
run more
point? I
there.
understand that.
That Deshaun
I know
was
he
a
ran a
different
lot.
player in Houston than what he is in Cleveland.
You know what's interesting, Dylan?
I think he was a better quarterback when he ran.
College
Exactly.
offense.
Why doesn't he now?
Because he said, I'm a quarterback. I'm not a running
Well,
back.
I'm just-
college
he's an idiot,
offenses
bro.
usually
I agree.
Run more. College offenses use the.
Did you
quarterback and run
massage
a lot
him?
more.
No,
Would you?
no,
Would you massage him?
because he's a bitch now.
No, hold on, Dylan. Justin, do you think Dylan would massage Watson?
When he was in Houston, I would have.
Be honest. Do
I-
you think you would?
I try not to think about what Dylan does in his alone time.
But you would veer towards.
I mean, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
No, I want to
He's
hear it.
scared. He's scared of you, bro.
I want to hear it, Justin.
No, he doesn't want to get insulted for the next 2 weeks. I don't blame him.
I didn't insult him when he was.
I hope
when he
every
brought up
player on the-
topic
I hope-
about an injury.
He's
I
like,
let it go.
did you guys see that? Looks like it hurt. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, Dylan's like, I hope every fucking
didn't
player
see
on your
that.
team blows out their knees. All right. So moving on, obviously the Watson topic was a little heated for us. But I
Fuck
just
you.
think that motherfucker's
I'm
been a
pretty
bum
sure
his
the
whole
league
career.
is investigating him still or trying to.
They should. They should. So let's talk about Flacco there with the Colts. 4-1 in Cleveland, 13 touchdowns, 8 picks, a 4-1 record. 1-1 with the Colts, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. And Richardson's stats are he is 3-1, but 3 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Can we let Justin go first on this? Because I know our stance.
Yeah, I was just going off of. I was giving you boys some stats here.
Yeah.
And yeah, Justin, what are you thinking about this Flacco and what should happen there with the Colts?
Can I just say that as long as the Colts have no defense, I could give 2 shits less about the Colts.
Well,
That-
that's fair,
that
but I'm asking,
defense-
what do you think about the quarterbacks?
If they had a defense that could actually stop opposing offenses, I think that Flacco is the quarterback who could actually take them places.
What's the Colts record?
I don't think it's very good. I don't know. I haven't looked. I'm pretty sure they've lost a lot of games.
So if let's do the math here.
Let me see.
Richardson's 3-1. They're 4-2.
They're 4-3,
4-3.
which I don't know how. Oh, because they played the Dolphins, trash. Titans, trash. They somehow lost to the Jags, who are trash. And I don't know how they beat the Steelers.
I want to insult you
Oh,
right
they
now, but
beat
I'm not going to do it.
They beat the Steelers with Joe Flacco.
But again, they have a
Point
winning
made.
record, so
Point
it's
made.
not over. It's not over right now.
So what game?
So
did
what would
Flacco
you?
play?
So what would you do if you were the person in charge and you were just focused on the quarterback position? What would you do? Are you putting Flacco under center? Or are you going to put Richardson under center?
I put Flacco under center. Anthony Richardson is super inefficient. I mean,
Went 3-1 with a bad defense.
he went 3-1.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna.
I know. I'm going to ask Justin. I'm going to ask the same question. How?
The dude is this past game against the Dolphins.
It was terrible.
The dude was 10 for 24, not even 50% completion rate,
It's terrible.
129 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks,
Yeah.
and ran 14 times for 56 yards. He ran 14 carries. That's what a typical running back workload is.
But it wins
Here's
games.
only-
When your
Sir.
running backs, when your quarterbacks run, they win games.
They lose that game if the Dolphins have Tua. They lost.
What do you mean? Huntley had a great game.
Huntley did play well.
Huntley had a pretty good game, bro.
He threw the ball 13 times.
But it was efficient. What's your point? 13 times and? If you only complete the ball 10 times and you throw for 36 times,
We can say he managed the game, but I would
that's
say
all you
that
need. He played well. He performed
All right,
well.
Serge, I'm going to make one
Go ahead.
statement, say one name, and then I'm going to let you take over because we both agreed the same exact way on this.
Okay.
Quarterbacks with, how do I want to say it? The quarterbacks with the talent that Anthony Richardson has
Okay.
could
Thank you,
benefit from 2 to 3 years learning from someone like Joe Flacco or a veteran quarterback, aka what happened with Malik Willis.
Well,
I do see thank you for that point, Mass. I did miss that because I wasn't watching the games. I guess Tim Boyle did come in after Huntley got hurt.
he went 8 for 13 or something like that. I watched him play. He did decently, but
and honestly, any decent quarterback I would expect to roast Indy because Indy's defense is trash.
Yeah.
If Indy keeps going the way they are, they're going to turn into a Malik Willis situation like Tennessee did.
But let's not forget, Huntley also had like 2 really good game runs. I thought I watched the whole game. I liked what I saw. He managed it. He didn't put up 300 yards or whatever. But with that Malik situation, everyone's like, Malik's is garbage. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. He would only throw up 110 yards, 115 yards. But he moves when he needs to, and he makes plays.
Got to learn.
If I'm with the Colts, I know what you're thinking. I'm torn, dude. I'm going to put in a 2-week resignation along with Justin because Justin's probably going to quit on the spot. He never quits on the spot. He always gives a 2-week. I'm going to give a 2-week. He's headed to his Mercedes-Benz, pissed off, saying I'm quitting on the spot. I'm going to go to CFL and coach or something because you're a rock stuck in a hard place. Is that the saying?
Yep.
Because I don't think you're
in a hard place.
A rock in a hard place. Thank you. Like I said, I'm not very intelligent. So I don't think you could go wrong with starting Richardson because he's an athlete. He's going to get better, but he makes these oddly good plays at times when you think that their plays aren't going to be made. He's also taking you 3-1. How do you go 3-1 with that ferocious defense? But with that being said, who's going to give you more yards in the air? Flacco. So I don't think you could go wrong with benching Richardson.
We also don't have Jonathan Taylor right now.
Right. And still won a game. So
against the Dolphins without Tua.
Doesn't matter.
The Dolphins are trash without Tua.
Again, God damn it, Justin. You just got me off my what I was thinking. So I don't think you could go wrong with benching Richardson. Let him sit back behind a pro like Flacco. And let Flacco go out there and probably win you another 7 games or so. But then again, I don't think you could go wrong because Richardson's their franchise quarterback.
But, Sturge, the thing is, do you even need a full season of sitting behind Flacco? Look at how much Malik has learned from Love in weeks.
Yeah.
It could literally
but don't forget where Malik was before he was there.
I get that.
I mean, it was just as bad as Chicago.
You know what helps mediocre quarterbacks? Good defenses in a run game. The Packers have both.
Okay.
Malik.
If that's the case, your statement doesn't make any sense why Richardson's 3-1. He had no defense.
Who have they played? Like
it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't. At the end of the year, the playoff committee is not like sitting there. Whoever does this is like, well, 4 of those wins were garbage.
They played the Packers and Richardson looked like shit.
And the Packers put up 16 points.
And won.
That was one of the games with Malik Willis.
Yeah. Right.
So Malik Willis beat the Colts.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
Not impressed.
I am.
What about
Wasn't that his first week starting?
No. He played the Texans before that.
And how good are the Texans defense?
They didn't play the Texans before that. We just played the Texans.
I'm talking about Anthony Richardson.
You said Malik, bro.
I was talking about the game where they played each other.
I said, wasn't that Malik's first game starting?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I want to be productive here, so I was just curious, Marlon.
Let's talk fantasy
about that. But we got one more topic. I think this was your topic, wasn't it?
We already talked the 3.
The Jets was that one of them?
Yeah, we talked about that first.
We didn't talk about the Jets first.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about how pathetic they were.
Well, we talked about Pittsburgh. We didn't talk about the Jets.
We did talk about.
Remember earlier? Earlier I made your vagina hurt because I said
about the Jets.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We did not talk about the Jets. We talked about the Steelers.
Fields and Russell, and we talked about the Jets defense.
Because I told you that the Rodgers is a bum now, and you're like, no, he's not.
That was before the podcast we went live. Okay.
And you made a good point. You were like, well, the one interception was the one that bounced off of him. But what about this, dude? I gotta find my notes here. So the Jets are up 15-6. Okay, 15-6. They didn't let the offensive line hurt them up to this point, right? They have the ball with 2 minutes left before halftime. And don't forget, the Jets get the ball back after halftime. Then they get it, they get the ball, they're driving, they're making a pretty good drive. Rodgers throws a crucial pick.
Dude, that was such a shitty throw.
It was. It happens, right? It happens. We're going to see this.
Yeah.
But the point of this is the momentum shifted at that point. Going into the half, it's 13-15 now instead of, 18-6 or, maybe they score a touchdown. You don't know. They were driving. I would assume they'd at least get a field goal out of that.
Didn't they get down there quickly on a Sauce?
They did.
On a Sauce Grabner hold?
They did.
Not Gardner, it's Grabner because all he does is hold. He's not that great of a
So Rodgers was picked at was it Wilson who bounced off his pads?
Yeah.
He did throw that one. That's not his son. But guys, it's the longest playoff drought than any team.
The Jets?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're one of the worst tackling teams right now. They have so many injuries on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that team is just going to get run over all year on defense. And Aaron Rodgers isn't even going to be able to try to keep up if that offensive line can't keep his pocket clean. I mean, I think it was 2.3 seconds that he had to throw the ball last night. I mean, that they have so many injuries on that offensive line. There are so many backups starting that they can't protect Rodgers to even give him a chance.
What is Apostle Woody? Is that a beard on that one, dude?
Yeah, I don't know which dude he's talking about.
Which dude, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, we all got beards. Mine isn't as long as your guys.
Mine was about this long.
I choose not to have mine that long because I don't want the maintenance.
Yeah, he's lazy.
For sure.
No, so yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That comment
but
just
no, I agree with what Justin's saying. With how many injuries they have on both sides of the ball, it's impossible for Rodgers to go out there and win games himself.
And not to mention, the offense hasn't been in sync all season. I mean, one of the things that Rodgers is notorious for is making opposing defenses jump off sides to get free yards. But that more often than not has turned into false starts by his offensive line than actual offsides or encouragement by defense. This season.
Did you see where Saleh said he came out after that game where they had like 8 false starts and Saleh was like, we need to simplify things. And Rodgers criticized him, which I think is the ultimate reason why they let him go. He was like, no, we need to play offense and learn our snap count.
I thought they let him go because he wanted to demote Hackett.
That could be it too.
I thought Hackett was a savior.
But how do you tell your quarterback we need to simplify things?
Simplify?
Simplify.
What'd you say?
Symbolize. You said that a couple times.
I wasn't going to correct him. You know what I mean? But how do you tell your quarterback that, hey, you're doing too much when you call snap count and your offensive line jumps every time?
Well, I mean, what about his receiver connections? I mean, a lot of his missed throws and interceptions in the games all season have been from his receivers not being in the spot he expects them to, because they're not been on the same page either. I mean, outside of maybe Lazard, the other guys that aren't used to playing with him just aren't in the right place. And you could see it some with Devontae last night for like a couple of the first downs, but then he stopped throwing to Devontae, and he also was having a hard time getting the ball out with that defensive line right in his face.
Right, and you brought up a good point there. Is it ironic that Lazard and Adams are on freaking 100% sync with him and the other guys are struggling?
Yeah.
Because Adams, it looked like they never stopped playing with each other yesterday.
Right. Well, I mean, he even admitted that I think Adams near like 95% of the calls because it is the offense that he played in when he played with Rodgers last. So, I mean, Rodgers runs that offense.
For sure.
You can have an OC there, but Rodgers is the OC, and you're just there to be eye candy and call him plays if Rodgers agrees that that's what he wants to run.
Right.
I did just see an announcement about the Niners.
Your dog took a shit in my living room.
You want me to beat her?
I don't want her to shit in my house.
You want me to beat her?
Well, I mean, we can get this podcast over with first.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat her.
That's fine with me. I'm just kidding. Why would you do that?
Hey.
So
Well,
I want to say this. Mass Shadow put that PJ Walker was going to come back. That's not happening. He's playing Canadian football, and there's a reason he's not even a backup in the NFL.
I think Jameis Winston will be the QB there the rest of the year.
For sure. And I think the Robinson, how do you ever say his name?
Thompson Robinson.
I think
Dorian.
he's going to back him up for sure. Well, he got a broke finger. Who cares? He can play. So let's talk fantasy football. We haven't done that yet.
So
I'll let you guys go ahead.
I was going to bring up the Niners because we already knew that Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL
Something like that.
this week.
Yep.
An announcement came out that apparently Deebo Samuel has been hospitalized due to pneumonia and fluid in his lungs. No timeline for his return, and then George Kittle has a sprained foot and is considered day to day.
Yeah.
Freak, dude.
So Debo only played the first 2 possessions, and then he had to get taken off to the locker room.
Yep, that's why. And then apparently Shanahan confirmed that Christian McCaffrey is unlikely to play this week versus the Cowboys. There's a better chance.
So is he ruled out or no?
Who?
Is McCaffrey ruled out?
He's doubtful.
Doubtful. Gotcha.
But he has been working out, and there is light at the end of the tunnel for anyone that does have McCaffrey.
Dude, that's going to be an interesting offense now. We're going to see how good Purdy is.
Oh, Juwan is hurt. I guess I did see Juwan was hurt.
Jennings?
Yeah, Juwan got hurt yesterday too.
So we're going to see how good it is over there.
They did get Ricky Pearsall back.
Yeah, if you're a fantasy owner that has high stock in the 49ers, Pearsall is your pickup of the week.
You also got DK Metcalf dealing with a minor knee injury. I mean, I'm tired of these injuries, man. It's making fantasy
rough.
not fun this year because I feel like all my teams, I'm playing a bunch of waiver wire guys with a bench full of starters.
Yeah, it's, when you join fantasy, there's going to be injuries, but this year's been wild.
I think Pickens looked great though last night. Honestly,
What's funny, he's giving me no points, and then next time he gives points. I'm like,
he had Russell.
Well, it's like Cortland Sutton, dude. He's on one of my teams. I'm like, 0
I wouldn't
points.
start anyone on the Broncos off receiver.
I didn't have a fucking choice, man.
Those 0 points is what.
When you don't have anybody else to start, you can't. You don't. I mean, I guess I could have dropped them and put fucking Donald Driver in, had the same amount of receptions.
So going into the 4:00 games, I was projected in my big league to score 150 points, and I had Jayden Daniels as my quarterback. Dude, I got 5 points, and then he got hurt, and now I'm projected to score 118.
Yeah,
because I also had Juju starting in my flex, and Juju got me 0 because he got hurt.
Chris Salmon says, "Did you know Deshaun Watson was out for the season?"
Yeah.
I mean, did you not see his leg?
He snapped his Achilles popped.
Yeah, you could see it.
That thing was done.
Yeah,
it was the same pop that Rodgers had last year, the first snap of the first game of the season. There's a video, if you go look for it, you can see it pop. It just straight snaps.
That's nasty.
Yeah, Justin, I was going to go 3-0 easily this week, and then when Jaden got hurt, I'm going to go 1-2.
Yeah, that hurt.
Well, guys, I think this was an exciting week of football in my eyes. I thought so.
It really was.
I think it's going to be even more interesting one this week. I'm excited to see how Brock Purdy does with the fact that he's going to have how many receivers now? I mean, they going to go to the practice squad, right?
Saul, and then whoever after that. I mean, I'm guessing Kittle probably will come back and play. He's day to day. I don't know. I don't know who else they have on that offense.
I mean, I would think they have to go to the practice squad with that many injuries, right?
Yeah, just to sign some guys temporarily. I was excited to see Javonte run hard on Thursday night.
Yeah, he did. He ran real good, man. Well, that was good to see. Maybe this rookie card will finally.
So what I found weird about that, Justin, is an announcer during that game said something along the lines of Javonte's been talking about how his knee hasn't felt the same since he injured it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's starting to get healthy again. Then all of a sudden he had that game.
Yeah, he's had some big openings that game too.
So it's weird that some people, and we all know how it is, it's true. Some people heal faster than others. Is Javonte back?
I hope so.
Javonte was never here.
If I were
His rookie season, he
wasn't
showed that
great.
the first season
explosiveness.
was,
Yeah, his rookie season, he showed a lot of explosiveness.
yeah.
And then he got hurt, and he was never the same.
He had angry runs all the time because he was just running through defender after defender after defender. I think if I'm the Saints, still, I'm probably giving Jay Kaner a start next week
I mean,
to see what he's got because Spencer Rattler did not look good, and that was without.
what year did Javonte have that was really good?
This might be his fourth year in the league.
'Cause the
third or fourth year.
You talk okay, so his rookie year when he went 903,
Yeah, he didn't play a full year.
he played 17 games.
But he wasn't the number
didn't
one to start the
start.
season.
He only started one. I was just saying, I was looking for like a 1,200 yard or something, you know.
But as a rookie, that
Dude, I was sold on Javonte.
Yeah,
Justin
yeah,
will
yeah.
tell you that. I was sold on him, but I never thought that he was given the realms and took off one year. I never thought that. I thought he had a good backup year as his rookie year. You know, the entry into the league, he had a great year. I mean, he almost went for 1,000 yards as a backup running back, essentially, right? I mean,
right, and that's what I'm saying. He got injured.
yeah, the knee, that was, do you realize that is the worst injury a football player can get?
100%.
Or multiple.
But what I'm saying is, there's been multiple players have the same injury and come back a year later.
People
Not what
retire
he
from
had.
that. Yeah,
Right.
not like that. They don't.
Not what he had.
That is the worst injury a football player can get other than the spinal injury.
There's
But
very
now
few.
People retire from that
But
injury.
now, 2 years later, he's starting to look like he did his rookie
But the
season.
problem is he's 24 years old.
He still has a lot of time.
He does because he hasn't been used a lot. But he's still those running backs don't last very often past 30 years old. You see this pretty, I hate to say it, but Zeke,
Right.
you see a lot of these running backs that, but he's barely used. So I looked for Javonte, but I start Javonte, so I'm not.
But
I'm not ashamed of
also,
it.
a thing people need to look at this year is his receiving yards are back up.
Can we give Justin a nickname, please?
I saw.
I
you put
also
that a
got-
couple times.
Hey, Chris, I got a new nickname. It's called Fat Man. Do you know why I said that? I met his family the other day, like his kids, and his son looks over and he's like, "What did he say?" He's like, "Why are you a fat guy?" or something like that. I was like, "Well, actually, I'm down 70 pounds, bud." Just kidding. It didn't hurt my feelings. I was fine.
Some more news just broke for the Raiders. They're signing your boy Desmond Ridder off the Cardinals practice squad, Anthony.
Yeah, because
Oh,
Aiden
shit.
O'Connell's going to the IR, right?
Yeah, he's out for 4 to
Watch
6
Redder
weeks.
get a chance, boy.
don't
I got
know.
a nickname for Justin.
Minshew look good.
I got a good one. Tampon.
Tampon Tim.
No,
Oh.
I don't think that works.
You don't like that one?
Why would I like tampon?
Thought it was clever.
I don't. How does it even fit? Thank you.
I don't want. I don't want to say it. I don't want to get yelled at. I'm just kidding. What's a good nickname for him?
Only the king. What's Mass talking about?
I don't really know. It's 7:00. I apologize for him. Chris, you don't gotta apologize. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I literally told Dylan that. I was like, hopefully he doesn't get in trouble because I did not take that offended. I was not offended by that at all.
We know kids say the dumbest things.
No, I mean, I don't really think it's dumb. They just see what they see what it
Like
is.
it's an innocence about it. Like he really didn't mean anything bad by it.
So I left there and broke my diet after almost 80 pounds and
Like,
ate a
we
Big Mac
stopped
with a
by-
bun.
We stopped by and he got 3 of the chicken Big Macs.
I did. I had it all.
Do you
Justin fed it to me.
guys- I did try a chicken Big Mac. I actually think that they're better than the regular Big Mac.
Are you kidding me?
No,
I can't even try it right
I'm
now.
not a big fan of the regular Big
I
Mac,
might cheat for this.
but I like the sauce on the chicken. The Big
Really?
Mac sauce on the chicken patty.
Really?
They have-
Really?
and it's the chicken like they.
So there's no patty?
there's chicken patties.
Stirred.
Just the chicken.
It's 2 big chicken patties the size of like the sandwich, and
Damn it.
it's the same chicken that they make their
Hold on.
grilled their nuggets out of.
What, Dylan?
Can you have Big Mac sauce?
No, absolutely not.
Probably he can probably have any.
There's sugar in it. I can have the patties. I just can't have the sugar. So, all right, guys.
white meat.
it-
100% white meat. They're chicken.
Thank God. Just I love the white meat.
That's not
What
I'm
other
going for,
what
but
other
okay.
meat would it be?
It's 100% white meat. It's not fake synthetic processed white meat.
Is there synthetic chicken?
Sure.
It's disgusting. It's like people that eat artificial crab.
I mean, there's like juiced chickens. Give them some of that good.
Have you ever? Do you like
Put 'em
crab
in the
meat?
Trailer.
You like crab meat? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Imitation crab's not the same.
It's not. No, not at all.
Like you won't. Everyone's like, try this one. I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. Like if I can't get real crab meat, I'm just not gonna get it. End of story.
Try a maraschino cherry and then try a regular cherry. They don't taste the same either.
Facts. Which one do you like better?
The maraschino, obviously. Put that in a milkshake.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
you're
good.
right. There's his nickname, 100% white meat. 100% white meat. We just call him white meat.
It works. I feel like that can probably be used in some very
we're gonna
naughty.
Dylan, his name's white meat.
That is funny. All right, so I have one more fantasy question.
All right, 7:04. Let's do it.
One more fantasy question to end my segment.
End your segment.
Well, if anybody else,
okay, bud.
If anybody else,
sorry, this is the Dylan show.
No, I'm saying if anybody else has a fantasy question, they can hit it.
I thought that was mine too. I don't get Justin to giggle a whole lot, but when I do, I'm proud of it.
With Jaden Daniels questionable with a rib injury,
yeah,
would you trust Marcus Mariota as a streamer this week?
No, absolutely not.
Jaden makes it offense run.
Absolutely.
Marcus Mariota won 40-7.
I would start Jameis Winston for sure.
Okay.
Hey, white meat, what do you think?
On that one?
Yeah.
I'm not starting Marcus Mariota.
I think
I'm
that
sure
flows.
There's other options out there.
I think that flows. Yo, white meat, what do you think?
I don't think so.
Justin, do you want to be a part of what we're going to do? Hopefully Doug's still listening. Does Doug know about the costume contest?
He should. It was in the group.
All right. Justin, are you going to join us, American Whiskey? You want to be a part of, let's see who can do the best dress. 29th, I think, bro.
The Tuesday before
next
Halloween.
Tuesday?
Yeah, man.
See what's going on.
You'll probably come in as white meat.
I don't even know how I would dress as that.
You don't dress in anything.
Do I wear a plain
come in
white
naked?
tee? I'm not going to do that. I don't trust you guys. You guys are questionable characters.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're just like, I'm just kidding. That's terrible for a football podcast. Never mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we're turning into the Pat McAfee show. Damn it. That's a great show, though. I do enjoy it.
Such a good show.
He says so many bad things, and I'm just like, I feel like we could kick it with him.
For sure.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind if we went to a bar and we met him and we sat down to have a drink, we would have a great time.
Absolutely.
Maybe even kicked out.
I feel like I was about to say, I feel like we'd get in a bar fight.
For sure. Don't talk to Pat like that. No one touches my white meat, or something. I don't know.
Like Pat would look over and be like, I was a kicker, right? I'll kick the fuck out of you.
Dude, have you ever went? He was a punter. He could kick, but he was a punter.
Right.
One of the best. But have you ever watched his highlights of just crushing dudes in the sideline?
Just straight smashing people.
He's not a little dude.
No,
but
he does WWE sometimes.
He does, and you got
appearances, and then he does announcing a lot.
Yeah. What I really love the most about you, white meat.
What? I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
I'm always scared.
The fact that you come in here with a 2011 MacBook.
Hell yeah.
And it still runs better than our newest edition Peanut in our American Whiskey. This dude's got like a 2023 HP, and dude, it's like an ancient dude. It won't even keep up with the internet speed. What do we got? Imitation graphics.
Is that
just
true?
died.
What Gordon's saying?
Well, that's not necessarily true, Gordon. It's grinded up fish parts for sure, but it's not just. I mean, I think it's like multiple different fish.
Well, I wonder what year my Mac is. That's not a 2011.
I was just kidding, dude. It just looks old. It just
curious.
looks old.
No, I should be able to see it like I can on my iPhone.
Just go.
Right?
You just go up to the Apple, up top, right? Then you go about this Mac.
Okay.
And then it'll come up and it'll tell you what year it is. Mine's a Retina 4K 21.5 inch 2019.
Mine's a late 2013.
I was close. Hey, and that son of a bitch is still running good.
Yes, sir. I think they stopped supporting updates on it.
Hey,
it's too old.
His computer's from 2013. And it still runs better than peanuts, dude.
It's that flash drive.
Do you have a flash drive?
Yeah, it's a 256 megabyte flash drive.
So what is one of those? What's those hard disk thing? Floppy disk? Does that got a floppy disk on it?
No, it does not.
Does it got one of them CD-ROMs?
No, that doesn't. I had an external one I bought to run DVDs.
What's crazy, dude? You were in college when you had that. You had that before you was in the military.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would keep going, but obviously, flies.
You want to hit anything on tonight's games, or are we done?
What's that white meat?
There's 2 games starting up in an hour. Did you want to hit anything on those, or are we done?
Do we want to end this one and restart one so that way I can load this one up? Or
I don't care.
Do you want to make it long? I just want to make this more feasible. I feel like we had a really good episode. Dylan and I never butt heads, so it's a good episode to see that.
We're normally always agreeing with each other.
On podcasts, maybe.
We don't butt heads very often, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A white meat.
Yeah.
You butt heads with the both of us all the time.
I don't have bet anybody. That would hurt.
White meat. Don't make me turn you into dark meat.
At least do it right. I had to fix my name because you couldn't put it on there right.
100% white meat. I'm gonna get us hats that have our names on it, and this is just gonna be white meat.
I put white meat, and he changed it to.
But
100%.
that's not his whole name,
You
bro.
didn't do it right, and it wasn't caps.
I think Chris named him 100% white meat.
I'm a grammar Nazi. You got to put that shit right.
Did you change mine to Fat Man? Who changed mine to Fat Man?
Shit.
I didn't.
I just saw that.
What?
Fat Man.
That had to have been Dylan because I didn't do that.
It's fine. It hurts my feelings a little. I do want to say we had a record amount of listeners today.
Did we?
We're down to 5 right now, but we were over at 20 at one point just on
sweet.
YouTube. So that was pretty cool. Anything we can do better, let us know, obviously. But let's talk. If you don't want to keep hanging out here, that's fine. But we're going to talk a little bit of betting for a minute. So yeah, let's do it.
Are you cutting it first and then coming back on?
No. Do you want to do that? We can end it and then come back in with just like what to bet on tonight's game or something.
I think this is going to be quick part of it. So let's just run it.
Well, some people may just want to have a bet. I wouldn't mind to have a 10-minute segment.
Yeah, let's cut it. And then
I agree.
One
it's 2-1, 2 against 1s here.
All right.
It's not hard to make one anyways.
No,
we'll be right in. So we'll be right back. If anybody that wants to join us, we'll be back for what would we call that, Justice?
Quick hit bet. Or
NFL bet. We want something that catch YouTubers.
NFL quick hit bet.
Are you running the outro?
Chris, that's not funny. I said, who made this name for me? He said it was AJ, which is his son.
Okay.
So we'll be back on. Hopefully you guys want to catch a quick bet for this night's game. Hop on.
My Max Silver.
White meats is
it's not one of the actual like desktops that they had in the school library. You know, the pink or the lime green or the blue.
Those are desktops.
That's what I'm talking about. Like those are sweet though.
As always,
I wanted one.
As always, I'm Big Sturge, aka Fat Man.
I'm Justin, 100% white meat. And we are
LeBron James Hennessy.
And we are Cheesy Ponies.
Cheesy Ponies.
Good night.